to Young Dolph, in the connection to Young Dolph's Young Dolph. This young man by the name of Justin Johnson is who police are now looking for in the connection to Young Dolph's murder. They're saying that Justin Johnson. They're saying that he is part of what took place. He was there. He is one of the two trigger men, and he is the person that police. Now, some people are saying they couldn't hear me, so I'm going to go back and read this article that was put out by Fox 13 in Memphis. It says law enforcement has announced the name of a man wanted in connection to the murder of Memphis rapper Young Dolph. According to the U.S. Marshals Service, 23-year-old Justin Johnson is alleged to have shot Young Dolph, whose real name is Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., to death at Makeda's homemade cookies on November 17th, 2021. This is a picture of the young man, a previous mugshot of him. It says the U.S. Marshals, who are working with the Memphis Police and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation on this case, said that Johnson is wanted for first-degree murder for Young Dolph's death. It goes on to say, according to the U.S. Marshals, since Johnson has been able to evade arrest, law enforcement agencies are now offering a combined $15,000 for information that leads to his arrest. Johnson has been added to TBI's most wanted list. It goes on to say the U.S. Marshal said that Johnson is 23 years old, about 5'8", 190 pounds, and has the name Jaya tattooed on his right arm. According to law enforcement, Johnson has ties to organized criminal gangs and should be considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information about Johnson's whereabouts, the U.S. Marshals are urging you to call them, and they have the Marshals' numbers. This right here is a picture from the Young Dolph Memorial down there in Memphis. This is all via Fox 13. Now, if you weren't able to hear me, I spoke about how they're looking for Johnson, but there were clearly two gunmen, alleged gunmen, the day Young Dolph got killed back on November 17th. So the police feel like they have Johnson. They've named Johnson. They feel like he is the guy, at least one of the guys that they are looking for. But there is also a young man who was also on the run that they have not named. Also a young man that there's still out there that also has connections to what took place. There's a lot, a whole lot, and I don't want to make any kind of speculations. I don't want to, say anything that could get me in trouble, because this case is still pending. There's still a lot of moving pieces, but this seems to be the young man. This is the young man police are looking for. He's 23 years old, and what I hate so much, well, one, he's on the run, and so he has to continue right now. You either turn yourself in or continue to look over your shoulder before you finally get arrested. And then what also is very disturbing and unfortunate is the fact that this young man is 23 years old. Not only did he take a life, which is, horrible in itself, but now his life is ruined. See, the horrible thing about committing an act of murder, something like this, something as egregious as taking Young Dolph away from his family and taking him off of this earth and taking him away from all the people that love him, whether it's fans, family, friends, whoever, is that now this young man, first, even if he would have never got caught, he would just always been, looking over his shoulder, wondering who was going to snitch on him, who was going to do what. But now now your name's out there. So now the police, U.S. Marshals, the FBI, the TBI, the Memphis Police, they're all looking for you. Your life is ruined. You won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to swipe a credit card. You won't be able to use your cell phone. You won't be able to, you will never be able to live a normal life. And then once, you are arrested, because the likelihood of him being on the run forever is just highly unlikely. This isn't a movie. Once you are arrested, you either have to give up your friend, or even if you don't give up your friend, you're going to spend the rest of your life behind bars. You're looking at, 25 to life, 15 to life. And was that worth it? For some beef that probably meant nothing to a lot of people, was that worth taking this young man's life, taking Young Dolph away from his family, taking him away from his friends, taking him away from the people that loved him? And not only did you take him away, now you're taking yourself away. Now you will no longer be able to live the life that you once could have lived. Now you will no longer be able to have the life that you once thought you would have. Now you are the one that is on the run and having headlines after headlines after headlines after headlines. I'm sure. I mean, let's just do a quick Google search of the name Young Dolph, and I'm sure this young man's name is going to pop up everywhere. Like if we, let me stop this. And once again, we're talking about police are looking for a young man, 23-year-old by the name of Justin Johnson for the murder of Young Dolph. If you're just now tuning in, police are looking, they have named a person in connection to the death of Young Dolph. His name is Justin Johnson. He's 23 years old. And I'm going to stop sharing that. And I'm going to, we're just do a quick Google search of Young Dolph. We did a Google search of Young Dolph, and these are all the things that are popping up. Dolph shooting suspect identified, wanted for murder. That's TMZ. This is Complex. U.S. Marshals identify suspect wanted for the murder of Young Dolph. First degree murder warrant issued in Young Dolph. Reward offered. Warrants issued. So all of these, like all of these within the last hour, we're talking 35 minutes, an hour, 19 minutes, an hour, 51 minutes. So all of these, and now look at all of these pictures of this young man. His name is Justin Johnson. Everybody has his mugshot. All the headlines are full with his name. If I look up the name Justin Johnson, I'm sure that the same type of headlines are going to come up. And so I'm saying that to say, was this worth it? Look at this. You just look up Justin Johnson in the first two things are the U.S. Marshals Service and Crime Stoppers. This is a big deal. Young Dolph, and now because of this $15,000 reward and because this young man is on the run, his name and stuff is going to be everywhere. And that's what's unfortunate, because I'm sure some sort of conflict resolution could have prevented this murder from taking place. It says the U.S. Marshals Services, Memphis Police Department, Crime Stoppers, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are offering a combined reward of $15,000 for information leading to the capture of Memphis man wanted for the murder of a Memphis rapper. Justin Johnson, 23, is alleged to have shot to death Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., 36 years old. And that's another thing. I don't know. Let's continue reading. Known by his entertainment name Young Dolph, in Memphis on November 17, 2021. During the ongoing investigation, the Memphis Police Department issued a first-degree murder warrant for Johnson for the crime. Johnson also has an outstanding warrant for violation of federal supervised release out of the U.S. District Court of Western District of Tennessee. The original charge was for a weapon offense. Both cases were adopted for a fugitive investigation by the U.S. Marshals, Two Rivers Violent Fugitive Task Force. Since the issuance of the murder warrant, U.S. Marshals and MPD have been extensively searching for Johnson. Since Johnson has been able to evade capture, law enforcement agencies are now offering a combined reward of $15,000. U.S. Marshals are offering up to $10,000. Memphis PD and Crime Stoppers are offering $2,500, where TBI is offering $2,500, as Johnson has been added to TBI's most wanted list. Johnson is a black male with they have this man's birthday. This man was born in 1998. Oh my God, his whole life is ruined. He is approximately 5'8" and weighs about 190 pounds. He has the name Jaya tattooed on his right arm. And then it goes on to say about Johnson's criminal record. So I just wanted to bring you guys an update. The news is Young Dolph, a warrant has been issued for this young man by the name of Justin Johnson in connection to the murder of Young Dolph. He's 23 years old. Police, both the U.S. Marshals and Memphis Police, are currently looking for a young Memphis man by the name of Justin Johnson. They have not said what led to the shooting. They have not specified the other alleged gunman. So there are two alleged gunmen. This is allegedly one of them, a young man by the name of Justin Johnson, 23, and they have not come out and said who the other alleged gunman is. I just hate it because there's so many lives ruined by this senseless act of murder. This young man was out going to get cookies. He was out at a local cookie store. Their business is ruined, because at least that location, because of what took place. You have this young man, Justin Johnson, whose life's ruined. And then there's another young man also on the run who police haven't identified whose life is also ruined. And not to mention Young Dolph's life is now gone. And so this is what's taking place. This is the latest news out of Memphis. I just wanted to bring you guys because I know some of you all were informed about the death of Young Dolph via our platforms. And so I just wanted to give you an update that police are looking for Justin Johnson in connection to the murder of Young Dolph, a 23-year-old young man from Memphis. Leave your thoughts and condolences in the chat and in the comment section. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you next time. Police are now looking for a 23-year-old man by the name of Justin Johnson in the connection of the death of rapper Young Dolph.